High Performance Unleashed, Turning Rejection into Global Success. From rejection to victory, fuel your journey with every no. Today, we dive into the mind of one of the most unlikely leaders in history, a man whose journey proves that high performance doesn't always come from innate talent, but from resilience forged in the fire of rejection. We've talked about athletes like Michael Jordan and visionaries like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk, driven by discipline and purpose. But this story reveals a less explored side. The nerd who was rejected and turned every no into a building block for an empire. What most see today is a charismatic billionaire and the face of Chinese e-commerce. What few remember is that before becoming a global name, he was the opposite of success. Rejected dozens of times, not only by big companies, but by modest opportunities too. One famous story is about KFC, where he was the only one rejected out of 20 candidates. For many, this would confirm he's not cut out for this. For him, it was a wake-up call. He realized he couldn't depend on external approval to validate his worth. His discipline wasn't born from the pursuit of perfection, but from a stubborn desire to prove everyone wrong. His why was simple and deep: to empower the small, the invisible, those without a voice in the system. He saw the internet not as a tool for giants, but as a battleground where the small could fight on equal footing. Like an athlete who, after being cut from the team, returns alone to the court, training fueled by pain. He didn't play the victim. He channeled humiliation into purpose. Even without knowing how to code or having an engineering background, his vision was so clear he gathered and inspired 18 people in a small apartment in Hangzhou. This initial group believed more in his passion than in any business plan. The big lesson here is that high performance doesn't require you to be the best at everything. It demands that you be the most passionate about your why. When the inner fire is stronger than outside opinions, you start turning rejections into stepping stones. The practical action is clear. Don't treat rejection as the end of the line. Use it as fuel. Next time you hear a no, ask yourself, what is this experience trying to teach me about my journey? Comment rejection to join the conversation, like the video, and subscribe to the channel for more content. Strategic patience. Master the art of lasting success. If rejection was the engine that pushed him to start his journey, patience was the strategic brake that ensured he didn't burn fuel early. In business, and especially in the world of high performance, there's often pressure to move fast, break things, and achieve immediate results. But he took the opposite path. He understood that true revolution happens not in a sprint, but in a marathon. When he founded his company in a small apartment in Hangzhou, he didn't obsess over dominating the world overnight. His priority was to build something that would last. For that, the most important element wasn't technology or marketing, but trust, a rare commodity in 1990s China, where online shopping culture barely existed and distrust was the norm. He knew that creating an ecosystem where small entrepreneurs could compete required time and consistency. While many would chase aggressive investors and rapid growth, he first invested in solving basic customer pains. He created a payment system not to compete with banks, but to solve a simple problem: how to ensure the seller gets paid and the buyer trusts the delivery. This decision, which delayed profits in the short term, laid the foundation for the empire in the long run. His discipline was precisely in his ability to wait. He understood that haste could destroy credibility, and credibility was the most valuable asset he could build. It's like an athlete who spends years perfecting technique, even if it means delaying glory, to achieve something more solid and lasting. This strategic patience also shaped how he made decisions. He didn't just seek easy opportunities. He sought those connected to a greater purpose. Often this meant saying no to tempting shortcuts and yes to longer, tougher paths. In the long run, this stance made his company more than just a business. It became an ecosystem. The big lesson here is that high performance isn't about always winning, but playing the game that matters. Patience is the skill to hold on to your vision when results aren't visible yet, and to resist the pressure to give up halfway. The practical action is straightforward. Look at your life and ask, where am I planting seeds that might only bear fruit in 5 or 10 years? What projects, relationships, or skills am I willing to nurture without expecting immediate returns? If this long-term philosophy resonates with you, comment patience to join the conversation, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Servant leadership. Inspire teams to achieve their best. If patience was the discipline that shaped his path, leadership was the tool that turned vision into reality. In traditional corporate models, leaders usually put the product, profit, or financial performance at the center of every decision. But he took a radically different route. He put people at the center. From the start, he didn't see himself as a boss sitting atop a pyramid, but as a facilitator of opportunities. His role, as he said, was not to command people but to inspire them to believe they were building something bigger than themselves. This approach was unusual, especially in 1990s China, where hierarchy and obedience were seen as essential. He understood that the true engine of his company was not technology or capital, it was the energy of people waking up every day to turn that vision into reality. He didn't need to be the best engineer, programmer, or executive. He needed the best team. To achieve this, he created an environment where every employee could feel pride and purpose in their work. His leadership had something many overlook: strategic humility. He believed that if he took good care of his employees, they would take good care of the customers. And if customers were cared for, profits would naturally follow. This philosophy made his company not only a high-performance business, but a community engaged in a collective purpose. A striking example was his attitude toward mistakes. Instead of hunting for blame, he encouraged constructive analysis, treating failures as inevitable parts of learning. This created a safe space for innovation where bold ideas could flourish without fear of punishment. It's the mindset of a top-level coach. Instead of yelling at the player who missed, he prepares them to score on the next play. This servant leadership also reflected in his relationship with the small entrepreneurs using the platform. To him, a merchant was not just a client, but a battle partner. He knew the company's success was tied directly to theirs. That's why he invested in tools, training, and solutions designed for those starting from scratch. The big lesson here is simple but profound. Leadership isn't about extracting the most from people. It's about creating conditions for them to deliver their best willingly. When a leader serves, they build not just results, they build loyalty and legacy. The practical action is this: next time you lead a project, don't ask, "What can I take from this team?" but "What can I offer to help this team shine?" The impact goes far beyond immediate results. It shapes culture, trust, and purpose. If this leadership vision resonates with you, comment leadership to join the conversation, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Purpose over profit. Building a legacy that lasts. After exploring the discipline of patience and servant leadership, we reach the deepest point of his journey: legacy. For many leaders, the pinnacle is measured by the size of the fortune amassed or the reach of their brand. For him, the measure was always different: the impact left on people. His story began with rejection, grew with resilience, and was sustained by patience. But what truly sets him apart is that, at the height of his power, he chose to step back. By announcing his departure from the company's presidency to focus on philanthropy and education, he wasn't abandoning the ship, he was showing that his mission was always bigger than the company itself. This move shocked many. Why would someone leave control of an empire they helped build? The answer lies in his why. He never saw the company as an end, but as a means to empower people. His true goal wasn't global market dominance, but creating an environment where the small could compete on equal terms with the big. By directing his energy to social and educational causes, he expanded this purpose's reach. He founded initiatives to empower entrepreneurs, brought education to underserved regions, and invested in environmental preservation programs. All of this reinforced his belief that true wealth is not what accumulates in the bank, but what multiplies in the world through positive impact. He also taught us that a lasting legacy is built on trust. For him, Trust was the most valuable currency more than any technological resource or financial capital. This vision guided him from the beginning and became even more relevant when he decided to pass the baton. He wanted to prove that an organization driven by purpose can remain strong, even without its founder at the helm. His legacy is, above all, human. He showed that the most important innovation is not technological, but social. The ability to inspire others to believe they are capable. By turning rejection into fuel, patience into strategy, and leadership into service, he created a cycle of impact that goes far beyond profits and growth charts. The big lesson here is clear. Profit can buy comfort, but purpose builds meaning. Companies and people who move by a cause greater than themselves leave marks that withstand time. The practical action is this. Ask yourself what legacy you want to leave, not just in visible achievements, but in the effect your actions have on other lives. Remember, true power lies not in how much you accumulate, but in how much you inspire. If this journey inspired you to dream bigger and act with purpose, comment "legacy," like the video, and subscribe to the channel to keep exploring stories that show high performance is, above all, a daily choice.